gave his soul to the devil, and in return, the devil gave him Los Angeles. Grab your spoon, pour the milk, because this is KillerKrunch and the depraved case of Richard Ramirez, the Night Stalker. Richard Ramirez was born in El Paso, Texas in 1960, the youngest of 5 kids in a strict household. His father was violent and his home life was turbulent. By the age of 10, Richard was sleeping in cemeteries to escape the chaos. But the real damage came from his cousin, Miguel. At 13, Richard watched Miguel shoot his own wife in the face. Instead of recoiling, Richard leaned in. He grew obsessed with Satanism, death, and suffering. In 1984, a 9-year-old Mei Liang vanished in San Francisco. Her body was later found in the basement of her apartment complex, brutalized and hung from a pipe. At the time, no one knew it was Ramirez. DNA would only link him to this murder decades later, but by then, Richard had already begun his true reign of terror. That same year, just a few months later, Ramirez struck again. 79-year-old Jenny Vincal was found dead in her LA apartment. Her throat was slashed so deeply she was nearly decapitated. Her apartment had been broken into through a window. This wouldn't be the last time. It became his signature. No plan, no pattern, no mercy. In 1985, Ramirez went on a spree that blanketed California in fear. He'd break in barefoot or in stolen sneakers, armed with a machete, a gun, or a tire iron. Sometimes he'd shoot victims in their sleep. Other times he'd make them beg. He used ligatures, kitchen knives, and in some cases, his bare hands. He left pentagrams on walls and on bodies, and in one case, forced a woman to pray to his dark god whilst he assaulted her. California had seen serial killers before, but never like this. People were sleeping with shotguns. Hardware stores sold out of locks and alarms. The media dubbed him the Night Stalker, a nickname Ramirez embraced. In August of '85, a sharp-eyed witness took down the plate of a stolen car Ramirez had abandoned. Inside, a fingerprint that would lead cops straight to him. The media published his face, California lit up with fear and fury. The Night Stalker tried to catch a bus back to LA, but someone on the street recognized him, then another and another. A full crowd formed. They chased him, tackled him, beat him with a metal bar. When the cops finally arrived, Ramirez was begging for help. The self-proclaimed satanic warrior, he bled just like everyone else. Richard Ramirez's trial began in 1989, 4 years after his arrest, and it was a media circus. He entered the courtroom with long black hair, sunglasses, and a pentagram carved into his palm. He flashed it to the cameras and whispered, "Hail Satan." Over the course of the trial, he laughed, smiled, and mocked his victims' families. He was charged with 13 counts of murder, 5 attempted murders, 11 sexual assaults, and 14 burglaries. The evidence was overwhelming: fingerprints and DNA, survivor testimonies. But Ramirez didn't care. He told reporters, "Big deal, death always went with the territory. See you in Disneyland." And outside the courthouse, it just got weirder. Young women started showing up daily, dressed in black, blowing kisses at Ramirez. They sent him love letters, nudes, marriage proposals. One even married him, a magazine editor named Doreen Leoy, who called him kind, funny, misunderstood. She would visit him for years and claimed she would end herself if he was ever executed. Meanwhile, Ramirez sat on death row in San Quentin, enjoying his infamy. He read books on Satanism and philosophy. He gave interviews, soaked in the attention like a celebrity. But the state of California doesn't move fast with executions, and Ramirez, the self-proclaimed demon, didn't die by electric chair. In 2013, after 2 decades on death row, he died from complications related to B-cell lymphoma. No fiery send-off, no dark ritual, just a slow, painful death in a prison hospital bed. He gave his soul to the devil, and in return, the devil gave him Los Angeles. But the devil doesn't do refunds, and Ramirez died the way most monsters do, alone and rotting from the inside. Thanks for watching another episode of KillerKrunch. If you enjoyed the video, like and subscribe. Tune back in next Thursday for another killer episode.
Start your day the killer way with a bowl of fright and fun. It's crunchy, spooky, downright kooky. You'll scream when the day is done.